Hey everybody, welcome to day 16 of Vlog Every Day in October. I almost said September. This is the part of YouTube where I tell you about my day whether you want it or not. So last night I was kind of emotional yesterday. I was kind of overthinking things because, I don't know, I feel like maybe it's just a personality thing, but I really care about what my managers think of me, what like people who are kind of in a higher like position to me, like what they think of me, and like that's really important to me, which can be good sometimes but really bad on other times because like it's inevitable that I'm going to mess up, and so I tend to overthink like, oh my gosh, they hate me or whatever else. And so I was talking to my friend Cody last night, and he was just like, you know what, like, and he said some good words, and it really encouraged me. He was just like, you know what, like, only petty people don't like someone else because of something small, right? And then he was like, yeah, and then also if they're like that, like if they don't like you because of something little that you did, then there's pretty much no reason to impress them in the long run. And so I was like, oh, you know, that's a good word. And so that kind of made me feel better because I was like, you know what, he's right though, you know. And he's like, and if someone ever thinks that you like messed up, even when you're not trying to mess up, like it must take you many times of consistently messing up for them to even think that you're a problem, right? So I was like, huh, that's a really interesting, it's a good word, you know. So that was really encouraging, and I felt a lot better about myself, and then I went to bed. Yeah, I was good. You know, friends are good. Keep your friends around. But today I took my stretch class, and I actually had to leave early because my stretch class starts at 11:50, but I started work at 12:30. So I like did my class for like 20 minutes and then I went to work. And yeah, work was really weird today because along the same train of thought, I kept kind of messing up, like little mistakes, but I felt pretty bad about it. There are things that I don't really know who to call for. For example, like one of the treadmills were not, like they weren't working, and so I was like, oh my gosh, who do I call? So there's like a walkie-talkie, and so I called the manager on duty, but the manager on duty was like in a staff meeting, and like she came out and she was like, hey, like what's up? And I was like, oh, one of the treadmills not working. And she's like, oh, okay, like just so you know, like you don't call the manager on duty, you call like facilities. And I was like, oh, okay, like sorry, like my bad. And like she wasn't mean about it or anything, but I was like, okay. And then she like went back in, and then I don't think my manager like meant it this way, but I had this girl called and was like wondering about her resume and stuff like that. So she was like, yeah, so like can you tell the person who interviewed me that like I called? And I was like, yeah, sure. But then she didn't remember who the person who interviewed her was, so I was like, okay, cool. But she was part of the gymnastics like section of the of my workplace. So I was like, okay, I'll like find someone who's in gymnastics. So then I talked to my manager and I was like, hey, how's it going? So this girl called, and like right in the middle of me telling her my like the story and then my question, my manager just like walked away from me. And I was like, okay. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll just follow her. So like followed her, but then she was like busy with someone else, and then they just left. And I was like, okay, yeah, just like F me. Yeah. Like I don't matter. It's fine. So like I was kind of like sad. I was like I kind of felt like I wasn't like, you know, I wasn't like worth, you know, like being listened to, I think was what I was thinking, even though that's like really over dramatic. But like sometimes you just like overthink a lot of things. And so anyway, but one of my coworkers is like super awesome, and she always like uplifts my spirit, you know. So, you know, I was talking to her about that, and she's like, oh, like that's weird, like what the heck? And she was just like, you know what, you're doing a good job and stuff. And so she was very like encouraging to me, and so I was thankful that she was there. Like I almost cried like I almost cried before I talked to her. But yeah, and then I was talking to my other coworker about planes, and like I don't really like planes. You know, I really want to travel places, but if I could be knocked out for a plane ride and then just wake up there, that would be great. But yeah, so we're talking about that, and so my coworker was saying how like she was supposed to go to Japan earlier this year, but then it didn't work out because she didn't save enough money. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's so crazy. And she's like, yeah, but then like one time she was like, yeah, one time I took this plane and it was so small, it was like we hopped aboard a mosquito, and then there was turbulence like nobody's business, and I hated that. And she's like, it's different when you're on a roller coaster, right? Because on a roller coaster, you know you're safe, you know, like it's going to, it's gonna work, right? But on a plane, you don't know. And so then I was telling her how like my dad, sometimes when he's on a plane and there's turbulence, he's like, yay! He's like, he gets excited. He's like, yay! It's like a roller coaster that I didn't pay for, but it's included with the plane ride. Woo! And then she goes, yeah, but death is also free. And I thought that was so funny. Oh my gosh. But yeah, and then my other coworker, so at the staff party, right, we played this game where you write your name down and then you write a fun fact about yourself, and then my manager would read the fun fact, and then we had to guess whose fun fact it was. And I have a coworker who, her fun fact at the staff meeting was that she plays a bunch of instruments, and everyone thought it was me, so they wrote down my name, but it was actually her. And anyway, so I've only worked with her once before, but she's really nice. And so I saw her today, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, isn't that so funny? Like, everyone thought that your fun fact was mine, but we should start a band, is what I'm saying. And so, yeah, we were talking about, like, what instruments we played and stuff like that, and, yeah. It ended up being, like, an okay, like, day after that. And from the staff meeting in the morning with all the staff that were in there, they actually had, like, extra food, so I ended up eating, like, a half a Chipotle burrito because they, like, catered, they bought a bunch of Chipotle for it, so that was kind of fun. But yeah, and then I got paid today, which is exciting. This is my first paycheck from my new job. So I went to the bank and cashed that in, and then I came home. I watched some YouTube videos. I have to memorize this verse for church because that's like one of the challenges I made for myself this week. And so I've been trying to memorize that verse. And it's not difficult. It's just like I keep mixing up words. So I'll get that down. Or I better, because I have to say it on Sunday. So, and then I came home, so watched YouTube videos, and then read some of my book, which is really interesting. The Summer of Broken Things, very interesting. And then day 16, Inktober, the word is wild. So I drew this. This is supposed to be Taz from the Looney Tunes. And there we go, day 16, bam. Hope you guys have a great day. I'm feeling really sore today from my fitness class yesterday, especially right here, because we did a lot of push-ups, and then my thighs hurt from doing squats. But anyways, that's it for my day. Hope you guys have a great day. You guys will see me tomorrow. Stay awesome, possum, and I'll see you later, alligator. Bye.